upside to feeling down when I took a good look around.
Hey everybody, welcome back to None the Wiser. Today we're going to be doing something that I've wanted to do for so long, and that is comparing the Ryobi compact routers. Now these are powered by an 18-volt battery. This is the oldest version right here, and this is the P601. Then I got this version, second generation. This is the PCL424. And then I just got this one. This is the PBLRR01. This is the brand new HP version, which is the high performance version with a brushless motor. These two are brushed motors. This one is a little bit newer, has a little bit better geometry, but I'm going to put all three of these to the test in this video, and I'm going to try to see if we can become a little bit wiser as we go through practical testing. Now, what's leading me to this is I used to make a bunch of cutting boards and I did a lot of routing, and then when I was building some additions, I tried to do some plunge routing in order to route out windows, and I ended up buying this just for that, but I still had a little bit of issues. So we're going to see if this HP can actually keep up with some of the Milwaukees and some of the Makitas and some of the other brands that really do well in that category. But before we get there, they're all just about the same weight and they're all just about the same size. But some of the big differences are the build quality. And for example, if we take a look just at the build quality, and I'm going to try and kind of get these as close as possible to you. The casting for this right here, so this is your level, this is your plane, this is where you're going to do all of your work, or at least that's where you set your depth for the plunges. Both of these are cast aluminum or aluminium bodies. This one is really nice. It's cast, but it's also machined. It's more precise. You have rubber overmolding right through here. And one of the things that I wanted to point out before we get into the testing, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking, but if we take a look at the motor, even though these are brushed, right, and you're going to spin this in here, and it's going to be hard to see, but we're going to spin that. It's pretty daggone smooth. You can feel some of the magnets on the stator and everything else and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into what that is. And then this one, the newer one, it's a little bit harder. And then if we get to this bad boy right here, oh, it's hard to turn because it has such good construction and design. But I'm going to do a close-up here just so you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to pull this out just a little bit because I feel like you deserve to see what this looks like taken apart, because it is so much better than these right here. And I'll pop this one on too, so you can see. And these two are basically the same. That's all plastic. You take a look at this one. This one's aluminium, and it's super robust, super strong, and it's just a lot better if you do a quick comparison to this one. And then you take a look at this one. Then you look at them together. You can just see there is a huge disparity, and that's why you want to go for this one. Even on this one, if you take a look right there, you're going to see venting around. There's no venting really through here. It's just a lot better, and it's more professional if you ask me. I think it's a lot more professional. It just feels better in your hands. It has better measurement. So if you take a look right here, you have your depths and your speeds, and you have your on and off button. Everything's on that one good control panel. And here, it's pretty generic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like it. It's just, it's not as robust, not even the slightest, when you compare it to this. This is what feels professional. But without talking too much more, let's do some routing, and we're going to do the best we can. And I love these little dust chutes right here. They really do actually work. With all that being said, first what we're going to do is I'm not going to make it that easy. We're going to do a little plumb, just a little plumb route all the way across with a straight line. And I actually have an attachment that we're going to be able to use in order to get that done. So let's jump into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're done with that one. Now let's move on to the newer one. Now this has the switch, it has speeds, and it has the leveling and locking mechanisms here. Now I use that one on high. Now whenever you use a router, it's not about how fast it goes. It's about the finesse and the type of finish you get. So I want to start this one at 4. And we're going to go up just a little bit here, and let's see if it makes a little bit of a difference whenever we do the cut. And maybe that will help. Here we go. All right, let's kick it up a little bit. All right, now it's time for the new one. Let's go ahead and get this thing set up. I rose the maximum before, so I'm going to go up to 6 with this one too. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, you can tell. Look at that. You have your light. Oh, let's just get a close-up of this while we're here, huh? Look at this. This is just beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Look at this. Look on the inside. Oh yeah, this, I'm expecting big things out of this. I want more power. I want it to be smoother. I want everything to be perfect about this. All right, here we go. In 3, 2. Okay, so it's obvious I didn't put the snorkel on right here, so I'll have to fix that. Well, if we take a look at this right here, you have your first, second, and third, and I will tell you, whenever we talk about this right here, it felt just really different, and I hate to say that it felt so different. It was out of this world compared to the other ones. So what's the difference? Is it just powering through? Was it, instead of just hitting the pop, 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 whatever you heard with the old ones, this one just powered right through and it just made it feel like butter as it going through? Well, we're going to do a full depth cut with the right bit. We're going to see how this works out. Let's say if you cut out a window, if you're trimming it up, you're putting on an addition. And even if you look at the striations, if we really take a look in here, and you want to take a look, you're going to be able to see, I think I'm in focus there, you're going to see the big difference when it comes to performance. But let's put it to the real test. So let me show you how this works. You can see that we have the wood sitting on top of the 2x4s. Pretend that is framing. Now, what we're going to do is, you can see there is a hole right there, and we're going to stick this router down in this hole. I pre-drill a hole. We're going to find the edge, and we're going to roll the edge all the way over, and you're going to see how it actually does. Now, this is the older one, right? That means we're going to start here. So I've already got it in the hole. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to attempt to keep the vacuum here, and we'll see how this works out. Now, this is a special bit made for this exact reason. We're going to take our time. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we're going to stop there. It already was too much for it. I was going a little too fast, and for most people's standards, it's not fast enough. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I have the next one loaded up right here, and I'm just going to continue this, and I'll tell you why. This has a little bit better of a motor, but I'm not that confident in it either. So I'm going to get the vacuum started, and I got this turned all the way up to 6. I've got the depth set right. We're going to get it started, and I want to see if I can make it. I want to hope to make it like right here. If I'm able to do that, I will be happy. Oh, that was actually really nice. That went better than expected. So this does have a stronger motor inside of it, and I pushed it a little bit faster, as you saw. So I'm actually really happy with that. This did the job, and this is right around 1/2-inch plywood. Not crazy, but it got the job done. So let's try the HP version. Okay, so same as before, I have this set up on the highest setting. I've got my depth. This is locked. We're going to turn on the button. We're going to make sure the vacuum's on. We have our plunge point right there. This is hooked up. Vacuum on. Turn this on, and let's see how the HP does with this. All right, and there you go. Man, and that's how you cut out a window opening. Worked out pretty well, huh? That's awesome. And at the end of the day, I think we could all see that you have a good, better, and best. Now, this is the older. This is, I mean, pretty new. I've used it a bunch of times, and, you know, I just got the HP. One of the things that I noticed is that the power of the motor, at least the torque of the motor, is what made the biggest difference here. You're going to get 30,000 revolutions out of almost all of these. I believe this one's 20,000 to 30,000 revolutions. This one's 15,000 to 30,000 revolutions. And I believe this one is 30,000 revolutions. And let me just, I want to make a liar out of me here. It's 29,000 revolutions. You got one speed there. This one is 20 to 30,000 revolutions right there, and 15 to 30,000. So I did my homework right, and I remembered it up here in the old cranium. But if we take a look at these, I am just going to say, right now, there is a huge disparity when you get to the HP. That right there, this right here, is the absolute winner. It's a beast. Now, one of the things that, if we're just taking a look, let's just set these down here. We can set this guy right on top, right there. And whenever we take a look at this right here, I'm just wondering, do you think Milwaukee knows about this yet? I mean, I know that Ryobi and Milwaukee are both owned by TTI, but I also know that they have different engineering divisions, and maybe they haven't tested it out. Maybe this is just as good as the Milwaukee. I'm not sure. What do you think? I'd love to hear from you. And if you've used this as well, does it make a big difference? To me, the big difference is the torque of the motor. Whenever you hit a hard spot, it's just going to power through that wood and just going to feel like butter. These, they're going to use that revolution, I guess, speed in order to knock it out, but it's going to it's really going to bog down. This one is just going to power through. Now you're going to be able to get that. You can't buy the older one now, but if you get this one, it's $79, something like that. This guy right here, the HP, is $129 for the tool only. But if you go on directtools.com, you're going to be able to find it a little bit cheaper if you can even find it. But I will say I'm very happy with it. I think doing little hobby projects, if you're just going to do a little bit of routing, you know, and trimming things out, then yeah, go ahead and go for the cheaper one. It's going to work. It is a good tool. But if you want something that's going to last the test of time, it's not going to bog down, it's going to get you out there. It's going to trim things up. It's going to get the additions on. It's going to replace one of the big honking routers. If you're not doing it all the time, then this right here, that's the one you'll want. My name is Brent. This has been None the Wiser, and I hope through this video we're all just a little bit wiser because we're learning together. Now, I hope that you all try something new and make your mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but we should learn from our mistakes and pass on the solutions to the next generation. Well, I'll be better for it at the end of the day, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Take care.